Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Glad you were able to join us for this 100-day walk. We're on day 12. Hey, it's a little cool today. It's actually like a big drop. It actually is dropped from like over 20 degrees in one day. It was in the 70s, now it's in the 50s, and that's a big difference. Tell you, oh, where are you? There you go. So we're gonna be walking on a cold day today. It's not cold, but it's cool. I can tell you that now. It's a little nip in the air. That's a better way of putting it. It's a nip in the air. But we're going to bring another day to you. This is day 12 of being off the couch. I hope you're getting off that couch every day. You ain't skip a day, did you? I'm glad you're here again, though. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can enjoy this nice cloudy day. Looks like the video is picking up. I'm sitting here looking at the video. But the ground is pretty wet today, though. Wet, like really wet today. But it's a great day. I mean, it's a great day. Can't beat, let me see. I'm just going to guess the temperature right now is about 54. And yesterday it was in the 70s, like the mid to upper 70s, like about 76. Maybe 76 or 77, but we did get a 20-degree drop, but it's all good. It's all good. And hey, you know, I was just thinking about something. I was talking to you about bringing different subject matter every day, right? And last night I was thinking about, hey, what can I talk about today? You know, and I was like, I got it. I know what it is. And this is what it is. Hey, would you quit your job to become a YouTuber? Would you walk in there and just say, hey, I quit. I got something going, you know, I'm getting it off the ground, and I hope it works out for me. Or would you just say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna get it working first and then quit, you know? That's probably more or less the thing to do. You know, you say, I'll probably quit after I get things going, you know? But my question is, would you quit your job to be a full-time YouTuber? Man, that's a tough question there. It's a lot of different circumstances around that one. But I would say that right now, yes, because there are a lot of different factors going into working for somebody else. You know, when you're working for somebody else, you're making them rich. You literally are making them rich. You're not making yourself rich. Like every time you go to a corporate job, you know, you get a paycheck, you know, and, you know, it keeps the lights on, but you're not bringing home the bulk of the money that's being brought in. Yeah, that's the way of putting it. You're not bringing home the bulk of it, you know, you're working for a check. And, if you had a YouTube account, you'll be working for you. You know, you'll be like, hey, everything that I earn is mine. You don't have to split it with anybody. Hey, that's sort of like being an entrepreneur, you know, you got your own business going. But yeah, I would ask, would you in fact quit your job to become a YouTuber? You know, there's a lot of different advantages to it too. Hey, one of the advantages is going to be you don't have to worry about getting laid off when business is down and they're like, oh, we got to cut back on staff, you know, we got to let a few people go. You don't have to worry about getting laid off. And that's a big thing too, because that can come unexpectedly to you. You're working one day, everything is going well, then you show up on the Monday morning, and then they have a meeting, and they're like, hey, we're going through a restructuring, and wanted to let y'all know there's going to be a layoff. And then all of a sudden, man, now you're asking yourself, when is it going to be? Am I going to have enough time to prepare? I can't afford to get laid off, man. I just got a new car note. But you face that, when you're working for somebody and when you're in the workplace, and if you get laid off, man, sometimes it's like, this is no joke. They can walk in there that day and say it's effective immediately. And the reason why they do that is they say, well, we don't want anybody damaging any files or doing anything to any of the equipment and making this here happen. But they don't think about it from your aspect. You're like, hey man, I got bills to pay. And you're talking about today is my last day. Why don't you just call me from home? Hey, why don't you just call me from home and say, don't show up today, man. You have me driving all the way out here. And all of a sudden I got to turn around and go back home. And you told me you just going to pay me for today. Well, they do say they'll give you a severance package, like 2 weeks. You get your last 2 weeks of pay. So, and then sometimes there's a severance package, but man, that's got to be hard. That hits hard if that happens to you. So you have to take that into consideration. When I was saying, hey, would you quit your job for YouTube to be full-time on YouTube? Think about if that happened to you. Man, I tell you what, you don't have much control. Oh, I can see that now. Hey man, I heard the boss gonna call a meeting at 10 o'clock. Man, why is it so early? We just got in here. It's something important, man. I don't know what it is, man. It's something that came down from headquarters. You're like, oh, you're looking at the rumor mill then. You're looking to see who all have all the rumors, where are the rumors? What's being said, because the rumor mill is important. Like a lot of stuff, you can ask some of the secretaries and they'll know what's happening. You'll be like, what's on the rumor mill? I need to know what's happening, so I can prep myself. And then all of a sudden you get the word, it affects you. And all of a sudden, there you are looking for a job. You looking for a job. Like, man, I didn't see this coming. I knew that the economy was bad, but I didn't see it happening to us, Especially all that overtime they made us work last year too. Yeah. So, would you quit your job to become a YouTuber? That's one thing that could, man, I kid you not. That's one thing that deserves considerable thought. And that is, you can walk in this job and all of a sudden, that job is not there. At least a full-time YouTuber, you controlling your own destiny. You control your destiny because the more content you make, the more opportunity to be relevant. You do it under your own time frames. All of your required stuff like video editing and stuff like that. Content creation. You'll be doing it under your own terms. So that's an advantage to me. That's an advantage, to being a full-time YouTuber. What would be another one? Hey, I know what would be another one. Hey, I'm walking on some sand right now. Boy, it feels good. It's kind of hard. Boy, if you really want to train your body for walking or anything, for getting strong, work out on some sand. because your feet sink down in it, and you got to work twice as hard. But another reason why it would be a good idea to quit your full-time job to become a YouTuber. Or I was asking you, would you do it? Let me put it that way. That's a better way of putting it. That way I'm not dictating anything to you. I'm just putting it to you, asking you about the question about what you would do. One of the reasons that could give you incentive to do so, I look at it from a standpoint of, I'm not saying do so, but I'm saying there are different reasons to do so. One of them is this here. They've got these AI tools that does a lot of the work for you, and you don't have to spend as many hours doing a lot of the stuff that you used to do. You don't. And the AI tools speed everything up. Then all of a sudden you realize, hey man, I'm getting help with this here. I'm literally getting help with create my content, because like say for example, watch this here. You can use an AI tool to help you generate let's say tags, for an example. Like you have to think about, man, what am I going to use as a tag? And you go, oh man, this AI tool is helping me with my tags, Hey, I'm just pacing on this sand because it feels good. I just don't want to leave it right now because it feels so good. So, man, we're walking on the sand together. Oh yeah, I was saying the AI tools, they'll end up helping you. Like I gave the example of the tags. Like say for example, you used to have to sit there and think of, I want to create this content. What am I going to use as some tags, And you go, I'll use the tags of, like say for example, you want 5 tags. Now you can use the AI and you can come up with 10 of them. You'll end up with 10 tags and be like, oh man, I just increase my chance of getting my content out there in the different forums, because the algorithm is going to look at the tags and use that as part of the assignment process, where it's going to route the videos, and keep in mind now, I'm basing all of this here off of material that's been read, because I'll say to you again, I've only got 2 subscribers, and I haven't made it work for me yet. And that makes me think of something. I'm gonna talk about that too, why I deleted my channel. I deleted a channel that I once had. I'm gonna talk about that one day. As a matter of fact, I might talk about that before today is over with. But yeah, that's another reason that you can consider. Let's see if we can think of another one. Oh, I got it. Here's one. Oh, here's one. We all get passionate about things, right? And we've always heard that, hey man, if you do something that you're passionate about, it won't even feel like work. It won't even feel like work if you do something that you're passionate about, you like to do. That's another reason why I would want to be a YouTuber. Yeah, I'll be, doing what I want to do, creating content, no matter what you do. You can be like, your content could be, you like to do spreadsheets or something like that and do financial advice to people. Or, you might end up being one of those people who analyze material, like you'll get all of these YouTube videos, for an example, and you analyze the data and find out what they what they have in common and stuff. But you know, everybody have their own little things they like to do, and you'll be following your passion. And passion is important, you know, because everybody, this is just me, this is my opinion. Passion, everybody want to do something that they're passionate about. Like, say for example, if you're, and I don't want to pick on any specific profession, but if you have to lift bricks all day and move them from point A to point B, but that's not your passion, it's gonna feel like work because you ain't into it. You're just not enjoying it. Like, man, I'm doing this here because I have to feed myself. You know what I mean? So you're doing it because you're doing it for a reason. You're not doing it out of love, you know, that, you know, you care about it and passionate about it, you know. So keep in mind that could be another reason why you want to consider, well, I'm not going to say you want to consider it. I'm going to go back to the question, you know, and that is, would you quit your job to become a YouTuber? Me, and I'm not like everybody else. Right now, I'd say yes. And the reason is because it is a new form of work. It's a new form of work, you know, where you have a lot of, let's call it creative control. You have a lot of control, you know, and how you create in your future, you know, and how you're building your legacy and everything about yourself as far as, you know, how you get your income and all that stuff. So that's another reason. All right, so we'll end that. We'll say that that's the tail end of that conversation. And let's go ahead and look at our next topic. Hey, I saw a video, right? And it was saying that, you know, it was directed at YouTubers, right? And it was talking about creating content. But here's the title of it, or it was pretty close to it. It says, focus on the storytelling and not the equipment. I think that's what it was, somewhere in that line. So, focus on the storytelling and not the equipment. That means, you know, when you're creating your content, quite often we'll worry about going out and, you know, buying some good equipment, you know, because you want to create high quality content, right? And, you know, they got all of these guys that do photography for a living, you know, and that's their thing. You know, they know how to set up lighting. They know how to set up, they know what cameras to get. But, and then, hey, when it comes to the storytelling, you ask yourself, what is the storytelling? And it's more than just the word tell the story, right? When you're telling a story, you have to worry about a lot of different factors. Number one, it's got to be kind of relatable in that people got to be able to relate to it, you know, because they want something that they're interested in. That sounds like a hawk. They want something that they're interested in, and it's got to be relatable to them. So first thing you do is make it relatable to everybody. Like, say for example, you can talk here. They don't even have to be interested in the subject, but if they can relate to it, they'll sit there and listen to the whole story. Because, you know, it's been times where, you may have taken a kid to a play, and it was something about Dumbo, just hypothetically speaking. or Pinocchio or something, right? You've seen it 100 times. You're probably not interested in it. You're doing it because you got the kids, you know, and it's new to them. But I tell you what, if they threw a twist in there, all of a sudden you're paying attention. You're looking at what's happening and be like, oh man, this is a little twist to this here. So they're making it relatable to you, you know. They're giving you something, it may be the same story, but they're giving you something with a little twist. Like, say, for example, let's go back to a Pinocchio type story. You're looking at a play with some kids and they're talking about Pinocchio, right? And you know how I already know about Pinocchio, the nose gonna grow and he wants to be a boy. But then all of a sudden, you're sitting there and they go, what would be a twist? Pinocchio just, no, I don't want to say that. I almost said rob a store, but I was like, that's a bad example, man, especially when you want to share a story. Let's see here. Let's say, for example, they say that Pinocchio just got married and there's a Miss Pinocchio. And you're like, hey, wait a minute, that's not part of the story. I ain't never seen no Miss Pinocchio. And now you see a girl Pinocchio doll or a puppet with a long nose, and that's, you know, all of a sudden they just gave you something you didn't have. Now they made it relatable. They made it to where they just did something different. Now they're trying to get you to relate to what they're saying. So yeah, do something that's gonna be relatable to everybody, and that'll help change the narrative. Hey, yeah. And here's another piece too, and that is the timing. I just learned this here, right? They were just saying that hey, when you're doing storytelling, man, timing is everything. Because watch this here. Have you ever gone to a theater and the movie was real boring and you literally fell asleep? Everybody has fallen asleep before in a theater or watching a movie because the timing wasn't there. The timing wasn't there. If they had to hit you with some certain little bitty things at certain times, it would have kept your attention and kept you into it, right? And here's another thing I meant by the timing piece. Say, for example, there's a joke being told, right? And you see these comedians all the time on TV. And you're like, man, you know what? That joke was right on time. And it's literally timing too, because you can hesitate in order to make something seem like it's more than what it is, because you can hesitate, look at them like, I don't know if that came through like how I wanted it to, but you can give a certain look, but your timing can affect your storytelling, right? Because, you know, you can pause and hesitate, and all of a sudden you're making it more lively to them. You know, the content just got more lively. So keep that in mind, you know. So, you know, we were talking about being, you know, people being able to relate to it, and the timing on it too, you know, making sure you got your timing right. It's nobody out here today. The courts are empty. The tennis courts are empty. Let's see if I can show you the tennis courts here. We'll see if you can get this here. I'm gonna see if I can get it behind me. But you can see, I don't know if you can see all of that. I'm thinking that you'll be able to see it. All of the courts are empty for the most part, you know. And I think it's because the surface is wet. And don't nobody want to slip and break their neck, you know. Because, you know, when you're running after a tennis ball, you be running, just stopping on a dime, you know. And, you know, your toes be down, you know, skidding into the surface to stop you. Boy, if you hit a wet spot, you'll be like, man, I almost broke my neck just then. But let's see what else. Oh. What's a good story without a plot? What's a good story without it being a good plot? Like, say for example, I'm gonna give you an example. One of my favorite movies. It was The Hunt for Red October. Sean Connery. I almost couldn't remember Sean Connery's name. The Hunt for Red October is just one of my favorite movies, you know. A lot of people won't even know what I'm talking about when I mention that movie name. But let me give you some insight when I was talking about the plot. The plot was this guy trying to take a submarine and sneak away from all of his people and get away and get up to like Alaska or I think over to America or someplace. But he was trying to sneak away from everybody, and the whole movie based on how sneaky he was trying to be, misleading people. So the plot was you can have it suspenseful, but man, I was just thinking, I got carried away because I started thinking about Red October, and I was like, I haven't seen Red October in a while now, but they used to be it's a lot of folks down there, but they used to be my go-to movie. I bet y'all watched The Hunt for Red October at least 6 times. At least 6 times. Yeah, I'll say about 6. But it's a good little movie. It's a good little show to watch. But back to the plot piece before I get sidetracked, because I tell you what, I started thinking about, I might see if I still have that, because I can't remember if I was putting it up on Max or HBO or Netflix or something. I can't remember how I was watching it, or if I have it like I still have a DVD collection, and some movies that are electronic, meaning that I have them on thumb drive. So I was wondering if I had those back with you. It's looked like it's getting ready to be a game, and everybody's got on jackets too, because it's kind of cool today. Folks got the windbreakers out, little light coats, sweatshirt, long sleeve sweatshirts, sweat jackets. I only see like one person with long pants. One person with short pants. Everybody else got on long pants. So that tells you how cool it is today. But nonetheless, that's going to be the end of talking about the storytelling piece. But that was just a little short piece I want to tell you about on storytelling. Let's see what the next subject is going to be. Things that I don't worry about anymore. Hey. Things that I don't worry about anymore. Oh man, that's a lot of those. When you get to a certain age, here's one thing you're going to realize. And here's one thing I don't worry about anymore. And I bet you everybody can relate to this here. I don't worry about what people think about me anymore. I really don't. I don't worry about what anybody think about me. Like the pressure, like the peer pressure and stuff that come from friends and stuff. I'm like, here's an example of the peer pressure, right? You go, hey, we're going out. And you're like, it was a time where you were like, oh man, I don't want them to think I'm square. I gotta be right there. Where y'all going? Oh man, that sounds good. I'm gonna be right there, And you're right there with them. You ain't miss a beat, you know, because there was a little peer pressure on you. And you know, you went along. Didn't matter if you were already tired or if you had some other plans. Somebody made that suggestion and said, oh man, everybody gonna be there. So-and-so gonna be there. So-and-so right here gonna be there. And you're like, that's peer pressure. And all of a sudden you go, I gotta go. Because everybody's gonna say I was the only one that didn't show up. And I missed it, you know. Oh, this is the fall of the season. I guess you could tell by all of the leaves. It's a lot of leaves down. But yeah, that peer pressure can get to you. For me, I don't worry about that. I don't worry about that anymore. I swear to God, I don't worry about that anymore. And you know what I'll do? If I don't feel like going, I'll tell them the exact reason. I'll be like, oh man, I'm passing up on that. Man, I'm gonna sit in and watch me some movies tonight, for an example. That's just one example. Or, man, I ain't going nowhere tonight, man. I'm gonna get out on my deck and I'm gonna fire up my grill. And man, I got me some Italian sausages that I want to put on that grill. Some, you know, something like that, right? You don't worry about the pressure when you get to a certain point in life. And I'm actually at that point right now that I don't worry about it. Oh man, that was sort of a hill. And I didn't realize that was such a hill, but that was the little hill I just came up. Hey. But almost just missed my step there. Yeah, but that's one of the things I don't worry about anymore. I don't worry about the peer pressure at all. Those days are gone. Like I'm free. I am free. Nobody to coerce me into doing something that I really didn't want to do, but I did it because everybody else was doing it. Days are over. I don't do that anymore. It's a good little walk today. Oh, you know another thing that I don't worry about? Climbing the corporate ladder. It gets to a point that if you haven't made it by a certain time, you just have to just quit worrying about it. Here's an example. Say for example, I'm gonna put myself in these shoes right here. Play like it's me. Just pretend this is me. I never had this opportunity, but play like it's me. Just, you know, for this scenario. This guy want to climb the corporate ladder, right? And he want to be a vice president of this region. And he said, I know most of the people get there by a certain age, you know, and they have to have this and that in place. And then all of a sudden you realize, hey man, I'm not gonna make it. I'm already past the you know, I'm old enough to be in that slot and they haven't put me in it. So that means they ain't even looking at me for being in that slot. And then, you know, but the corporate ladder can put some pressure on you. You'd be like, hey, man, I'm gonna work 15-hour days, 16-hour days so I can move up. And then all of a sudden one day you just wake up when you ain't worried about this stuff anymore. You wake up and go, you literally wake up and go, man, I'm doing my 8 to 5. It's just not that simple, but it's sort of that simple. You just wake up and realize, well, you know what? I think I've been passed over. That's a better way of putting it. I think I've been passed over, and I don't think they have me in their plans, you know, for this position. Then all of a sudden you go, I may as well just forget all about it because it's not meant for me. But those are some things that you don't have to worry about anymore. You know? I mean, you literally don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see if we can move on to the next topic. Here's the next topic for you. And I just noticed this here today too. And that is social media is changing. And I mean, here let me set the baseline. We're right after the presidential election, right? That's like right where we are right now, like today. We're right after the presidential election. And all of the news broadcasters, the big boys, you know, the ABCs, the NBCs, the CBSs, the CNNs, and all of them, right? They were saying, oh, this is a close race, you know. And it's Trump versus Harris. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. They were both running for the presidency. And the big boys were saying what it was. And if you go to social media, they weren't giving sort of like the same data. It was a lot of the same data, but for the most part, it wasn't being driven as it was through the big boys. But to me, this is just to me, the days of the big boys are over. Unless they do something to reinvent themselves, those days are over. And here's what I mean. You got folks now that run these social media platforms. Man, they got 5 million viewers. They got, you know, like 10 million subscribers. They've got audiences, like more than what some of these networks are reaching, right? And they're talking to them every day. And these boys are impacting things, you know. They're like sitting there talking about stuff. And this seems like, this is what I mean by social media is changing. Everybody is going to social media for their news and information now. Everybody's going there for that news and information instead of like the nightly news shows. Where am I? Okay, we got into a real cloudy area. I think you can still see me. Oh, back to what I was saying about social media and these platforms. These podcasts, they got a footprint that's reaching millions of people. And nobody's going to the big boys anymore. And they had their base convinced that it was going to be one way, and it ended up totally different. Let me tell you what happened. They were talking about how close it was, but the final result was this. It was a freaking landslide. It was a landslide. They talk about the battleground states, right? They were talking about these battleground states, and I'm just gonna guess, but I think they said it was like 7 of them. 7, I'm gonna say 7 battlegrounds. It was like 7 battleground states, and it's a toss-up. And we expecting one to win 4 and one to win 3, or it's gonna be close, you know. It's a 50-49 with a 1% chance of error. And it didn't end up like that at all. It didn't end up like that at all. Ended up being a landslide. And that's what I mean by this whole thing has changed. And when you used to go to the big boys for your info, this whole paradigm has shifted, and nobody's doing that anymore. Those days are over. ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, all of y'all, if you ever look at this podcast, I'm gonna tell you, you need to reinvent yourself. You need to find a way to reinvent yourself before you become like the dinosaur. And all of a sudden you show up for work one day and they say the ABC News is no longer needed. And you don't want to get to that point, so you need to talk about reinventing yourself, because nobody's going out there anymore. Everybody's going to social media for that news. So you better do something, because the good old days of having a nice cushy job where you're making a couple of million a year, one of these days them executives gonna look at it and go, hey man, everybody's out on these podcasts getting their information and news. We need to be investing in these podcast people. So word of warning, get with the program, and trust me when I tell you on this here, I don't see things as clearly as a lot of true pundits and people that look at this stuff for a living. But I'm just talking about from the common man's point of view. Man, it looked like y'all missed the boat on this one bad. And that tells everybody something about what you're doing or what you're not doing. Or I don't know I wouldn't say that. If you're pushing an agenda, that's your own agenda versus giving everybody the truth and stuff, I really do believe they were trying to give us the truth, though. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't do that. So I'm not going to pick on them. I'm just going to say that time to change. All right, let's see what we can talk about next. What can we talk about next? Oh, I know what we can talk about next. I'm going to go back to what I said early in the video, and that's this. I said that I was going to come back and talk about a channel that I deleted. All right, let me talk about that. Watch this here. I had a YouTube channel, right? Had it for a few years, and I used to put stuff out there like family stuff, like family memories and videos of kids and parents and all of that stuff, right? That's all I had on this channel. Then all of a sudden, I became aware that you need to be monetized, with YouTube. And I'm like, all right, I'll go ahead and do the research. During the research, guess what I found? Copyright strikes. You cannot have copyright strikes. And I deleted my channel because I wanted to be monetized. I wanted to get a channel that was monetized. Now this, like I said, this channel that I had, I wasn't doing anything but putting family videos out there, but I was doing this. I was putting music to them. Like, say for example, a kid was doing something, I put a little music to it to give it some body, to make it seem like it was alive, like the video was, music just, makes the video better, and you got some little music going in the background, might be soft, or the music could be the theme, and you never hear the voices of the people. But that's what I was doing. And I had a lot of good stuff too. I mean, a lot of good stuff, family stuff. But that's all it was. That's all it was. It was a bunch of family videos. But I took that down because I wanted to get monetized. And I did read something where it says don't delete your channel, but I need to pursue that even more because it's too late now. I've already deleted it. But I don't know how it would impact me. But I did it because I wanted to get monetized. So I created a whole new channel, and I was careful not to use anything that would make me get a copyright strike. We're going down the hill. I don't want to do anything that would make me get a copyright strike. So I swear I missed that channel too. And I'm like, man, what if my PC goes out? I've got all this stuff on my computer right now, right? And I'm like, man, if my PC goes out, I'll lose it. And see, that was an advantage by YouTube, man. A lot of folks think of YouTube as, man, it's actually the go-to hub for everything, tell you the truth. It's a go-to hub. But also, this is one thing people don't even probably think about. I was using it as a storage device too. I mean, you know, I looked for stuff I needed to find on YouTube, but I was uploading my stuff and I was like, man, if my computer ever goes out and I lose all of my family videos, I got that stuff uploaded. I mean, you can put it on the cloud, but I had mine on my YouTube channel. And now I had to delete that whole channel in order to try to get a new channel to become monetized. I'm like, oh man, it's catch-22. I'm gonna lose all of the good stuff, but I do want to get into the new stuff. I want to become monetized. So I'm still trying. And please tell somebody, come to my channel. Man, I only have 2 subscribers and I need some subscribers. They've said that we should be able to, you know, some people have been able to monetize after a week and some folks after a month. I've been doing it for 2 months. Boy, we got our walk on today. We're walking. And the battery's still going too. But back to what I was saying that all right, I'm probably gonna get ready to wind this down. It's a nice cool day. But you can still get tired on cool days. Ask NFL football players who play in the snow. Up in Buffalo. You can be playing in the snow, but playing football and still get tired. That's where we are right now. We're walking on a nice cool day, but still getting tired. Not tired, but more or less like winded. Let's call it that. Getting winded. You know what? I talked about deleting that channel. I talked about everything I want to talk about. Gave you some walking material. So, with that said, YouTube, guess what? I am going to bid farewell. Adios. What's that? Wiedersehen, Veracruz, and all of that stuff. Saying that I'll talk to you later. See you on the next video.